Y'all know what time it is, baby. Welcome to the Balking Dead, where there is no sleep for the wicked. This show sponsored by Prizepicks. If you haven't already, go over there, use the promo code PUBSPORTS, get a $100 match bonus on your first $100 deposit. So yeah, do yourself a favor and get yourself an extra hundo and do the whole 100. We got a big card today, guys. 9 fucking games. So let's pump through this shit. Shout out to the chat. Smash the like. I probably won't pay too much attention to you guys because I just hum through it and we got a lot of games. So I don't want to fucking bore you. So let's get to it, guys. There's money to be made. Blue Jays at Yankees. We got Yasiel Kikuchi versus Nestor Cortez. Kikuchi's coming over from Seattle with a 4.7 ERA in 3 years in the majors. Kikuchi stayed behind while the team started the regular season to get some extra work in. He has an 11.4 strikeout to walk ratio, but has given up 4 home runs in only 8.1 innings this year. Left-handed batters last year hit 147, while right-handed batters hit a 271. Yikes, right? Woo! Kikuchi last year was definitely fade for me at times. But if you look at his April numbers, he does have solid April numbers. Take that into effect. Nestor Cortez. He enjoyed a breakout campaign for the Yankees last year, posting a 2.9 ERA with a 1.08 whip, 103 strikeouts to 28 walks, and only 93 innings. It was strong enough to get him a starting job in this rotation despite having struggled in his previous opportunities in the majors. He doesn't have dominant stuff, so he relies on deception. To me, it's a wait and see, but I do expect some regression from Cortez this year, as last year he had a dominant season. I expect his previous numbers to show up, seeing he doesn't have dominant stuff. Left-handed and right-handed batters both hit in the 230 range last year versus Cortez. Gleyber Torres, he's batting 5 for 11, 455 career versus Kikuchi. He's had a hot spring, but a slow start going 1 for 10. So Kikuchi might just be the right thing to get him going. Aaron Judge, and 7 at-bats versus Kikuchi, has 2 home runs, guys. We know Judge fucking blows up right or left-handed pitching. His power numbers are better from the left-handed side, and Kikuchi is a left-handed pitcher. So you can't hate on any time you're looking at an Aaron Judge versus a lefty. No Jays have seen more than 10 at-bats, but Bo Bichette and Springer have a home run in a very, very small sample size versus Cortez. So you got to throw that out there just because it's there, but no one has seen him more than 10 times because he was pretty much only seen these Blue Jays last year. So to me in this game, guys, I think it's a fade both ways, guys. If you want hitters each way around, I'd look to it. If a pitcher were to be good, I'd look at Kikuchi, but once again, I'm not high on Kikuchi, but I know some are. Let's get to the next game, guys. We got Brewers and Orioles. This one's going to be quick. I have 2-3 different sites I use, and no one has an Orioles pitchers up, so I couldn't get a breakdown on him. So we're just going to hit through the Brewers stuff. Eric Lauer's pitching for the Brewers. He pitched a 7-5 record last year with 117 strikeouts and 118 innings with a 3.19 ERA. He's coming in with a 10-plus ERA this spring, and I do expect some regression last year. With his 3.19 ERA, his FIP was a 4. So there was some hard-hit balls that were smoked that were just caught. Good defensive plays were made. I expect it to go near his FIP range, which a 4 ERA in the majors isn't bad, guys. That's what you need to realize. Like, premier pitchers are a 3. Like, the Cy Youngs are in the 2s that year. So a 4 means you're pretty fucking solid. You're a solid 3-4 pitcher in the big leagues. That's what Eric Lauer is. He's a 4-5 pitcher on this team, so he can hang. The batters, no one on the Orioles have seen freaking Lauer because Lauer was a National League pitcher, and the Orioles are an American League team. But one thing last year, Orioles raked left-handed freaking pitchers, and this ain't a left-handed pitcher who is super, super dominant in eyes. He's a strikeout per inning, and like I said, a 1.2 whip. So I don't look at him as super dominant, and I expect this team to be able to put the bat on the ball, especially the top part of their lineup. So I'd be looking at any of the Orioles batters realistically. Santana, Mancini. I'd stay off Mancini today. He hasn't been so hot. But there's some dudes on there like Mullins who've been humming, and I think they get to Lauer today. But like I said, I have no Orioles pitchers, so I really couldn't do a breakdown on him. 9 games. Let's get to the third. Marlins at Angels, guys. Shout out to the chat. Smash the damn like if you haven't. We got Jesus Luzardo and Patrick Sandoval. Woo! Ric Flair shit, right? Drafted in 2016, Luzardo with a career majors ERA of a 5.36, guys. That's been trash. He's coming into the spring on a tear, only allowing 1 run with a 1.03 whip, 10 strikeouts to 3 walk ratio, and almost 12 innings of work. This kid was rushed to the majors. I looked through all of his. He was just drafted in 2016, and he's been in the pros for how many years, guys? 3-4 years, dude. He got rushed. I looked at his AAA numbers. He didn't spend too much time down there, and he didn't do good. So this spring, like I said, last time out in spring, he gave up 1 run, 4.2 innings to the Astros lineup starters, and they eat left-handed pitchers, guys, and he did well versus this Astros team. I expect him to turn the corner, guys. I don't know if it's now is the problem. So I'm going to wait and see with Luzardo. His spring numbers are finally looking like his minor league numbers where he was good at. He was good in the minors, but he spent 30 innings in the minors and they popped him straight to the pros. So my thing is maybe he's going to live up to the talent. Wait and see for me. But if you take a shot on DraftKings today and want a shot on a pitcher, Luzardo, no one's going to take him versus this Angels lineup. No one. But that's up to you, not for me. Right-handed batters did hit 289 versus him last year, where left-handed batters hit 250. That's trash. Mind you, he hasn't been good in the majors, but I think he turns the corner. I just don't know if this year's it. But I see improvements in the spring, and other than his ERA, I see improvements in his whip and in other parts of his box scores that mean shit. Patrick Sandoval was supposed to be Angels' second-day starter, but the Angels wanted him to miss the Astros. That's a fucking good idea, guys. Let's let our left-handed fucking pitcher miss the Astros, and they threw Reed Detmers up in the second hole instead. Like, they let Reed Detmers just get fed to the fish. If I would have seen this 4 days ago, I would have bet the Astros even more than I did that night. But we'll get into that another time. He's coming off his best year in the majors, going 3-6 with a 3.62 ERA and 87 innings pitched. He has not been good in AAA or his previous 2 years in the pros. So I really do expect some regression from Sandoval this year. Last year, right-handed hitters hit 241, while left-handed hit a putrid 151. So I'd be looking at right-handed Marlins batters, and I'd be stacking them versus Patrick Sandoval today, in my opinion. Jorge Soler loves him some left-handed pitching. Slugging and OPS numbers are 100% higher versus left-handed pitchers than right-handed pitchers. So I'd be looking at Jorge Soler to have a home run type today. Jared Walsh, probably the hottest Angel this year, but for his power numbers dropped 300 to 400 points versus left-handed pitchers than right-handed pitchers. So I wouldn't be too looking to hum Jared Walsh myself, even though there will be people who will be like, oh, but he's hot, gotta play him. I like to play numbers, and he does not hit well versus lefties historically. On to the next one, my guys. Nationals at Braves. We've got Patrick Corbin versus Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder was just named the starter about an hour ago. We'll get in who the fuck is Bryce Elder. Bryce Elder is fucking bet on. But, like I said, Patrick Corbin, he's coming into the season with a great spring and an uptick in velocity, like I said on the last show where he was pitching. To me, he's still wait and see. I was looking to bet on him. His whip was trash. He allowed too many base runners, and he got pulled in the 4th inning after allowing 2 runs. It wasn't a good start of the year, but his velocity was sitting at 94, 95. His strikeouts were up. So strikeout department, maybe it looked with Patrick Corbin. His ERA and his whip, he's still going to be freaking the type of guy where he's going to need you to chase to do well. I don't hate anybody stacking Braves bats. They have some really fucking good numbers against him, and we'll get into it later. Bryce Elder, he's in line for his first ever MLB start. He's born in 1999. Born. Like, fuck, dude, I don't even know where. I was in high school in 1999. I was like, where was I in 99? Okay, he's a right-hander out of the College of Texas, born in Texas. He smoked through all levels of the minors last year in his first year in the minors. Single, double, triple A, hummed fucking through it. Humdulillah, motherfuckers. He's going to humdo us a lot. Too bad he's only going to go about 60 pitches today, guys, because last time out he went about 33. But to me, this kid is fucking bet on. This organization knows more than I know. And from the numbers and everything I've read, this kid is amazing. He's a 3-pitch pitcher with a legit 3 pitches. And I think he's ready. And Atlanta Braves organization knows he's ready. So to me, this kid is going to be bet on at the first game of the year. He in 137 in the minors, he had innings in the minors. He had 155 strikeouts, an ERA of 2.75, and a WHIP of 1.1. That's pretty freaking good, guys, for being your first year in there. And the fact that he's mature enough for them to think he can start, this kid's mentally ready for it, guys. Batters, obviously no one has seen Elder. It's his first damn MLB start of the year. Left-handed hitters hit Elder at a 282 average, while right-handed batters only hit 182. So if you are looking to fade Elder with any of the bats over there on the Washington National side, I'd look towards the left-handed side. It seemed like he did struggle versus left-handed batters in the minors through his numbers. National left-handed hitters. Okay, I already read that. My bad. Sorry. Ozzie Albies. This is a guy that I'd be looking at today. On 25 at-bats versus Corbin, he's batting 400. He is off to a slow start, but ain't nothing like a slow start when it's only 4 games and you get a pitcher where you've had more than 25 at-bats and a 400 batting average. I'd be looking at Ozzie Albies over a half base or a single type today. I'd be looking at the single prop like my man Maxwell be betting. Adam Duvall, he's 10 for 30 career lifetime versus Corbin also with 2 home runs, but he's also off to a slow start at 2 for 18. These slow starts, 2 for 18, all these numbers don't mean fucking shit to me, guys. It's fucking 3 games. It's been a series. It's 4 games into the season. Like, if they're having a slow start after a week, 10 days, then I'll take it into it. If their springs were that bad and they carried it into it like Will Myers has, then I'll count it. But Ozzie Albies had a good spring, and if you had a good spring and you're off to a slow start, that don't mean nothing to me. It is what it is. You saw the best pitchers already, and now it's time to start seeing the worst. Welcome to baseball, guys, where the averages come through. Matt Olson hasn't seen him yet, but he loves him some left-handed pitching. I don't mind any stacks of DraftKings lineups looking to fade Corbin, and I'll be looking at some home run props in that myself. Next game out, Doyers, the Los Angeles Doyers at the Twins. I haven't even betted my own team this year. I faded them once and we did well. Andrew Heaney versus Chris Archer. Andrew Heaney shouldn't even be fucking starting. He is a fill-in starter for the Dodgers that they paid 14 or 11 to 14 million. I can't call it off the top of my head. $1 million more than they should have paid for him. They should not have gave him $1, in my opinion, and they should have let him pay him, the Dodgers organization, to wear our jersey, because he's been a career fucking bum in the pros. He has a career 4.72 ERA in 121 games, and he's been hot garbage going 5 innings with a 16.8 ERA in the fucking spring. Last year, left-handed freaking hitters. I'm depressed. You can hear it in my voice. I'm mad we're starting him today. Left-handed hitters hit 260, while right-handed hitters hit 255. What the hell are the Dodgers doing throwing this guy out there? Lefty versus lefty. I don't know. You should be good versus lefties as a lefty pitcher. I don't think he should be in the lineup. I think he gets tuned the fuck up today. So, Chris Archer, guys, he was drafted in the 5th round of the 2006 draft. Yikes. Grandpa Archer, man. We're going to start calling Chris Grandpa Archer out here. He's got a career 3.7 ERA, and he's found another home in Minnesota on a 1-year, $3.5 million deal. He didn't pitch in 2020 due to COVID, and he only pitched 19 innings last year. This spring, though, he has a 10 ERA and 2 innings of work. I don't expect this guy to go more than 45 pitches, guys. They're going to baby this guy. He hasn't made it through. He hasn't played in a long time. So I think it's a bullpen day with a team that doesn't have the best bullpen. So I'd be looking at stacking batters in this game too. I don't trust either of these pitchers. If I was to trust one, I'd trust Archer, but I don't expect him to go long. So he could be humming along, and then all of a sudden he's just out the game. Like, what the, huh? That's Chris Archer lately, guys. So I can't put my money on him. Maybe a 3 inning bet for the books who do have it out there. I'd be looking at that. No one has 10 at bats versus Heaney except Carlos Correa. He's 6 for 19, batting 316 with only one extra base hit. One extra base hit, guys. You know, out of 6 hits, like you'd expect Correa to be better than that. Like he's owned left-handed hitting throughout his career, and he hasn't been so hot this year, but I'd look at running a Carlos Correa today. Ain't nothing like a fucking Andrew Heaney to get your life going better. Mookie Betts is 4 for 13 with 2 home runs, 4 RBIs versus Archer lifetime, where Justin Turner in a small sample size is 5 for 5. But he's been off to a horrendous pace. Bad at bats, guys. He is not looking good. I wouldn't want to bet on Justin Turner until I have a chance to bet on Justin Turner. So he's got to show me something until then. Otherwise, he's just a fade to me right now. So I need a fucking drink because I got cotton mouth because I get baked like a cake. Smash the like, guys. Shout out to the chat. I see you, MMA Locker Room. My guy, Billy. I see you, Abel. I see you, William. My guy, Moose from Oceanside. The Oceanside Pirates baseball coach. I'm going to go see one of his games April 28th in Fall River, baby. I want to see this kid they got. Supposed to be a beast sophomore throwing 86. I'll tell you if he's a beast. But let's get into the next game, guys. Royals at Cardinals. Daniel Lynch at Dakota Hudson. This, guys, is a gematria game. Shout out to Big Show for producing the show. Every fucking day he's here. Let's give him a like. If you ain't smashed the like for me, smash the like for him. Gematria, this one's for you. Both were drafted 34th overall in the MLB draft. That shit just was tripped out when I went to write it. I was like, that's weird. This is the battle of the number 34s. Lynch was drafted in the year of 2018, where Dakota was 2016. Lynch won the starting job over Singer, going 12 innings with a 4.3 ERA and 7 strikeouts in those 12 innings. Big problem was the 4 home runs that he has given up in little span, and he was terrible in AAA with a average number of 5.44 ERA through 57 innings. That, to me, last year I thought he was bet on because I thought he was. I looked at his pitches instead of his numbers, and this guy was trash and was faded. He to me is a fade, and he's going up against a Cardinals team who eats left-handed pitchers. We'll get into that later on. Dakota Hudson. He was also drafted, like I said, 34th overall in the 2016 draft. He has owned AAA, and I think he's ready for the majors, guys. He went 48 pitches last time out, so I could see him going around the 60 to 75, depending on people on base, not people on base, the workload. The pitches don't count, really, guys. It really counts if people's on. Those count more. Those add more onto your body and onto your mental frame. You've got to be mentally prepared, and if you've got runners on, you're not able to think all the way. So the pitches mean more when there's runners on. He is having his worst spring ERA with a 7+, but his whip and batting average against looks amazing. So I'm not worried about an ERA where home runs were flying out in Arizona. Cardinals do have a pitcher's ballpark at Busch Stadium, and we've got a stud in Dakota Hudson that I'm looking to ride. How could you not look at any Cardinals stack or any Cardinals type hitting props, guys? Like I said, they own left-handed pitchers. One of the plays I'll be playing on Prizepicks and another bet I'll be making is Goldschmidt over 1.5 bases. This guy is locked in. Do I get screwed over if he takes a bunch of walks like he's been taking? Yes. But those walks are amazing, guys. That means he's locked in. And if you're locked in against a left-handed pitcher who doesn't belong in the league, he's going to get eaten alive today. So I see the Cardinals smacking him today like they have all year and last year versus left-handed pitchers. I will be riding the Cardinals one way or the other today. Like I said, I will have a over 1.5 base bet on Goldschmidt, and I don't surprise if he hits a bomber off this guy. Woo, got me juiced when I get to see a lefty versus the freaking Cardinals. It's kind of like the White Sox, guys. Rockies at Rangers. I see a lot of people on the Rocky side today. Don't hate it, but I ain't going to get into it. Chad Cole versus Martin Perez, guys. Chad Cole pitching over there for the Rockies. He's coming from the Pirates with a career 4.4 ERA in 100 games, coming in on his worst spring with a 13-plus ERA and 5 innings of work. 12 hits and 4 walks and 5 innings of work. Yikes, bro. Everyone wants to bet that guy? Everyone wants to bet the Colorado pitcher who just can't get a fucking out in the spring? Good luck to that. He had some really bad splits last year with a 2.4 home ERA and a 7 road ERA, and now he's no longer in Pittsburgh. Damn. I mean, I've got to wait and see. I'm not putting my hard-earned cash on him. I don't hate anybody looking to fade him with bats and prize picks. I don't look at anybody taking his fantasy score under. I'm not high on this kid. Martin Perez, the soft-tossed-in veteran, guys, with a 4.7 ERA and a whip of 1.5 last year, pretty much matches his career. Fucking numbers. Like, that is bad, bro. But Martin Perez at times is bet on. His last spring training, he threw 3 innings, 2 hits, and 1 run versus a stacked-ass Chicago White Sox lineup. The Chicago White Sox lineup that you, your mom, and everybody else bets on when they face a lefty. He fucking owned them last time out. I've been looking at the Rockies bet on, and they've been really good this spring. Their at-bats, they all look amazing. They're all taking really patient at-bats. But I'm a little going to take a pause, and I'm going to take a wait, kick back, and see. The Rockies last year and this year have shown their bet on versus lefties, and that's why I see people betting on the Rockies. But these are lefties that threw 97 miles per hour and higher that they've got to in Urias and Hearns. This is Martin Perez who don't hit 90, who's a soft tosser, who's gonna make you chase. If they're patient like they've been over the last 5 days, they get to him. If they're not, Martin Perez has a dazzling day. I'm just gonna kick back and watch that game. Cron is batting 444 versus Perez in 9 at bats with a home run, and he's batting 353 this year. I don't hate anybody looking at Cron. Cron is hot, so Cron's a bet on. Connor Joe, guys, he's the left-handed versus left-handed pitchers. He's their leadoff batter. I expect him to be leadoff, and he's batting 353 this year, or 313 this year. Cron was at 353. So Connor Joe's batting 313. He's batting leadoff versus left-handed pitcher, so he's going to get 5 at-bats. Texas Rangers bullpen is a bottom 10 bullpen. Perez should go about 5 innings. If they do or not get to him, Connor Joe should get a hit or 2 today. So I'd also be looking at that guy. Probably a cheap lineup in DraftKings since he doesn't always start at the top of the lineup. How could you not hate Corey Seager, guys? He's batting 389 this year, and historically is way better versus right-handed pitchers than left-handed pitchers in the power department. So this is a right-handed pitcher in Cole, a not good right-handed pitcher, and Seager's been fucking hot, guys. And I expect him to keep it rolling. He brings his lunch pail to work every day. He's not a big, loud talker. He's just going to put it up with them numbers. And to me, his numbers have been better than Carlos Correa's this year and should have been the number 1 sought-after freaking shortstop, like not Correa, my opinion. Let's get into this. We got 2 more games, guys. Let's smack through it in 6 minutes because 30 minutes, whoo, pushing it. I know you guys have shit to do. Smash the like if you haven't. Like I said, tell your mom about this show. Tell your dad about this show. Just don't tell your grandma. I'm a little vulgar. I don't want her hating me. I'm a nice guy. We got Astros and Diamondbacks, guys. Luis Garcia versus Madison Bumgarner. I hear a lot of opinions. I tuned into Jimmy's show this morning, and I heard a lot of opinions. Let's get into mine. Luis Garcia, he's coming hot into this spring with a 0 ERA, 2 games, and a 5.1 innings, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. In his first stint in the majors, he went 11-8 with a 3.48 ERA, 167 innings, and 167 strikeouts and 155 innings. He never hit AAA. He took the jump from AA and went straight to the pros last year, and he held his fucking own. Yes, I know his splits were bad at home and road last year, but I can't take a guy who's only been in the league 1 year. I can't take those splits. The splits mean absolutely nothing. What I did see last year is an ERA of 3.48, and it was your first year in the majors. You got your feet wet, bro. You understand it. You understand the game of baseball and the way it works. You know how to throw with runners on now. You know how to act. I'm on Garcia today, guys. Madison Bumgarner, over the last 4 seasons, has a 4+ ERA in the month of April. He's coming in off a decent start versus the Padres, but he only went 3 innings before he was pulled. Last year versus right-handed batters, they hit 256, while left-handed batters hit a 193. No one on Arizona has seen more than one at bat versus Garcia. That's why Garcia is a bet on to me. Also, you haven't seen him. He's been hot. He's been humming, and I expect a bigger year than last year this year. So give me him versus an Arizona team who hasn't been hitting yet. Bregman is batting 167 and 12 at bats versus Mad Bum, and Gurriel is batting a putrid 182 and 11 at bats. Where the left-handed fucking killer, Jose Altuve, is batting 2 for 8 with 2 home runs versus him already. So, I mean, small sample size. We don't like to take much in if it ain't 15 at bats or more, but I had to mention the power numbers. If Altuve gets a hold of a ball, it's fucking going, guys. So give me some Jose Altuve any day of the week, guys, especially versus a left-handed freaking pitcher. Last game out. Padres at Giants. For all those of you guys who hung in there, I appreciate you. My only bet of the card today, if you care about it, is Padres first 5 minus 115. Here and why. Darvish, guys, if you tuned in last week, I told you he was bet on. And I missed out on his K-prop, but he was still 6 innings of no-hit baseball with over 11 batters with a 2-strike count. He has a new catcher. They need to work on some shit. They'll figure it out. But the real fucking key point I gave you last week is he changed his arm angle. And it worked in the spring. Okay, 2.3 ERA in the spring. Good. I bet on him because of that. Hugh Darvish is bet on when he's healthy and humming. When he's not healthy, you fade him. He is healthy right now. He's humming right now. He is Cy Young Hugh Darvish right now. And to me, I'm going right back to the well with me, some Hugh Darvish in the first 5. I'm going to bet him on Prizepicks. They're disrespecting him. I expect the K's to be there again today. And like I said, big on Darvish, big spring, big first game. He's the type of fucking player where you fade when he's not good and you ride when he's good, and he's humming. So we're going to hum along with some Hugh Darvish. Alex Cobb, guys, last year he had a 3.76 ERA in 18 games, pretty much his career ERA. He looks pretty good coming off of spring with a 1.23 ERA and 7 innings of work. Last time out, he only threw 30 pitches, so I don't expect him to go past the 60-pitch limit. And his only caution with Cobb, guys, his last 4 April combined, he has a 9+ ERA. Yikes. Yikes. I did think about taking the first 5 under in this game because what if Cobb is good? And the Padres lineup don't scare me. There's a couple good batters. Other than that, they're pretty fucking weak right now, and especially with Will Myers in it, dude. That guy just couldn't hit a broadside of a barn if his life depended on it. Tag that, Will Myers. I live right by you. I'll come over. You want some? But that's for later on. If you do, though. So, I mean, I don't think he goes past the 60-pitch count. I'm also looking at the under full game in that, but I think it's a Darvish, and I think they take the reins off. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes 8 innings in this ballpark, as long as he could hang. Only Giant to have more than 10 at-bats with success is Yastrzemski. He does have 3 home runs and 6 RBIs versus Darvish, but he is batting 1 for 10 this year. So we're getting him at the right time. Let's just hope he doesn't get hot versus a pitcher he does like. So anybody looking at Yaz or getting a cheap price on Yaz today because he's been hot, I don't hate you because he has good numbers versus him. Manny Machado, when 11 at-bats versus Cobb, is batting 364. But he's only hitting 250 this year. But last night I had a bet on the game, and I watched that game. He really did take some good at-bats. He took the walks when needed. I could see him getting a hit today, guys, maybe 2. So I'd be looking at some Manny Machado type, if anything, if you were. Shout out to you guys for hanging in there. We got it done in 30 minutes. Smash the like if you haven't. We hit 9 games. Let's fucking rock today. Tag me in your tweets. Let me know what you're on. Ask me any questions. I'll give you my opinion. Remember, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them. Just mine's a little cuter. If you haven't already, go over there to Pub Sports. Smash the damn like. Look at the damn merchandise. Check out the cappers. Thank you to Prizepicks sponsoring us. Once again, go on over there if you haven't. Use promo code PubSports for your first $100 deposit. Up to $100. If you already have, go do one in your wife's name. Why not? Help out Pub Sports a little bit too. Shout out to Big Show, my guy. He here every day of the week, the whole baseball season. Not the week, but the year. It just keeps going. Balking dead, baby. No sleep for the wicked. Bam.